This snake doesn't chase its prey. It catfishes them with a tail that looks like a spider. And birds fall for it all the time. But how did a snake end up with a spider growing out of its butt? What happens when the scam doesn't work? And why haven't the birds figured it out? Today, we're diving into the Tinder swindler of the reptile world. Hold on to your buns, that's about to get wild. Research shows people that like this video are cool. Do with that information what you like. Okay, bye. The spider-tailed horned viper sounds like a creature from a cartoon, right? A snake with a built-in puppet show. It waggles a fake spider at the tip of its tail to tempt birds within striking distance. It's Mother Nature's ultimate catfish, though, ironically, no actual fish or cats are involved. My gut tells me if this snake had Wi-Fi, it would definitely run a fake Etsy shop. But how on earth did a snake end up with a spider decoy on its tail? Before we answer that, let's formally meet the Tinder swindler of the reptile world. The spider-tailed horned viper, also known as Pseudorastes eurarachnoides, is endemic to western Iran and a bit of eastern Iraq. At first glance, it looks like a typical sand-colored horned viper, tan with rough scales and horns above the eyes, blending perfectly into the rocky deserts of the Zagros Mountains. But then you notice its tail. The tail has a chubby bulb-like end, fringed with long, drooping scales that look exactly like spider legs. Honestly, this is one of the worst cases of identity theft I've seen. But this raises the question, why did this snake evolve a fake Spidey on its butt? This Spidey butt is a brilliant case of aggressive mimicry, aka Pecamian mimicry, which is when a predator mimics something its prey finds attractive. Think anglerfish with their glowing lure, or death adders that wiggle worm-like tails to entice frogs. But our viper takes it to the next level. Over many generations, snakes that twitch their tails like yummy bugs probably snack more meals, passing on their genes. Evolution kept polishing this trick though. The tail tip got plumper and spider-like, the scales stretched out like convincing legs, and the waggle dance became perfectly tuned to spider-esque movements. This is what happens when Darwin meets deception. Now, it's the most elaborate predatory lure known in snakes or any reptile. Essentially, evolution handed this viper a fishing rod with spider as a bait. One might say this isn't mimicry, it's method acting. And now we have a venomous viper pretending to be a spider, pretending to be lunch. A tailception, if you will. But surely after witnessing one too many of your comrades fall for this trick, the birds would wise up. Thankfully, or perhaps not thankfully depending on who you ask, the birds did wise up. Herpetologists studying this incredible species noticed something fascinating. The viper caught only migratory birds, mostly warblers, but no local resident birds. It seems the hometown birds of Iran have seen this magic show before and learned not to trust suspicious spiders. But a wary bird migrating from out of town, it gets duped on the first try. Usually. I have no evidence to support this, but I suspect the local birds have a group chat and they send out PSAs saying, hey, that ain't a spider, it's a snake's lunch invite, don't RSVP. Also, rip Jimmy, you were a real one. Meanwhile, the foreign birds fly in and whoomp. Seems even in the animal world, tourists are targeted for scams. But what about baby vipers? Can a little hatchling snake pull off this elaborate con? Turns out, no. The spider lure grows with age. Juvenile spider-tailed vipers only have a nub tail with maybe a hint of a spidery shape. They can't fool birds yet, so the young snakes stick to hunting lizards, which are presumably easier to trick or catch without the fancy lure. Only adult vipers have the full arachnid tail and the skill to snare birds. This brings us to the most important question. What happened when the scam backfires? If it goes horribly wrong, as in the bird strikes and the viper doesn't strike back fast enough, well, then the viper's lure gets damaged. One scientist observed a snake whose precious spider tail got picked clean off by an overeager bird. But fear not for our sneaky serpent, the snake likely survives. It's a small price to pay for a strategy that usually lands a much bigger meal. As one researcher quipped, a snake that dangles a part of itself as bait is taking a risk, but when it works, it really works. And here's the cherry on top of this evolutionary sundae. Even the viper's venom is specialized for feathered prey. Most vipers have venom tuned for rodents or reptiles, but this species' venom is particularly potent against birds. Every part of this snake, the camouflage, tail, behavior, and venom, was fine-tuned to hunting birds. Nature literally went all in on the concept. In case you're wondering, the venom can still affect humans and other animals. So don't go picking up strange spiders in a run for multiple reasons. So nature has given us the Tinder swindler of the reptile world. A snake that hunts using a spider on its tail. Not by accident, not as a weird side effect, but as a full-blown evolutionary strategy to scam birds into becoming dinner. If nature had a con artist leaderboard, this thing would be wearing gold chains and holding a fake spider diploma. If deceptive predators are your thing, you should absolutely check out my black versus brown widow video. One is misunderstood, the other, kind of a jerk. You'll never guess which is which. And hey, if this video made you say, what? Even once, hit that like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I want to know, would you fall for the fake spider? Until next time, stay squishy, stay weird, and stay away from catfishes of all kinds. Bye my fellow loons!